Hello and welcome to the $1,000,000 Message. This is your Fearless Friday message with Kali Brigham, calling from beautiful Pensacola Beach, Florida. Well, I am doing an April Squares contest with my unit this month, and it's got 24, 30, I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's got a bunch of squares with different activities that you can choose from and get prizes and all that stuff. And it's designed to be fun and maybe to think outside the box a little bit, to give some strategy, to have a little creativity in the actions. And I know that it can be all those things, and then it can also look a little overwhelming, right? So it takes a little bit of pre-planning and deciding which ones am I going to go with. And so I was going over some of that with them last night. And really what I wanted to do was show them how one of the activities could lead to 6 or even 7 other ones. So it wasn't that you're focusing on 7, that you have 7 things going on at once, but that when you focus on one, how it actually ripple effects to the other ones. So really how to simplify, I guess, right? Because some things can be complex if we let it or if we're not careful. And I realized as I kept thinking about it last night and this morning that how often do we simply do that even without an April Squares contest? How many times do we chase 17 strategies, 8 different activities, 3 new systems, right? Or we think, okay, in order to reach my goal for this seminar year or the quarter end or the month end for this week, I've got to do all of these things. But I thought, well, gosh, in general, what if we just focused on one thing, just one action, one move, one intelligent, well, I was going to say intentional, but also intelligent decision that could start that ripple effect. I know we've all read the books, right? The One Thing or The Power of One or all that, and it's all true, it's all relevant. But as I was really thinking about this in particular, and with a few months left in the seminar year, I know what can happen. On the flip side, the pressure gets building. The list gets longer. The voices start whispering. You should do more. You need to catch up. You're behind. But again, what if breakthrough doesn't happen from doing more? What if it comes from doing one thing really well? Okay, here's the thing that I told them, I suggested on the April Squares. And we're just going to use this as an example. It doesn't have to be this. So don't get lost in the weeds here. But I'm going to give you an example of one thing. On that, I just selected asking someone, actually it didn't say it like that. It said to get 10 referrals or new leads. And I thought, okay, well, there's lots of ways to do that. I've done lots of different ways over the years. I've done everything from warm chatter to facial boxes to vendor events to you name it. But I thought, I've heard the statistic recently so much that anywhere between, I've heard it several different ways, but anywhere between 70 and 80 or more % of people say that they would give referrals, all right? And 10% of salespeople ask for referrals. What? Okay, so I picked getting 10 referrals from someone. I went ahead and said it like that. In one fell swoop, 10 referrals from someone. Now, you don't want it to just be any someone, right? Because birds of a feather and all of that. You're going to want to pick somebody who you think probably has 10 quality referrals for you, whatever that means. Their stage of life, their circumstances, where they work, where they go to church, how influential they are, if it's an age group that you're looking for. Okay, so we're going to be specific in who we're asking, of course. But what if that was it? The only thing I do, the only thing I focus on is asking 10 people for referrals. Today. We take action today. Okay. And you can use ChatGPT to ask, okay, how would I ask for the referrals so I'm not feeling weird? What would be the script that I would say so that when they say yes, how am I going to let them know that I'm going to handle these referrals with the utmost care and what we're asking them for, etc. Okay. Now, let's just do a trickle down here. What am I doing with the 10 referrals? Let's just say that for the 10 leads, you send them the skin analyzer. Okay? All right. So no touch technology. They can live anywhere. It doesn't matter. And this is even what you tell the person that's going to give you the referrals. I'm going to ask you for 10 referrals of women that would do the skin analyzer app for me. And I want to get really good at this. I want to see how women's skin is out there, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to focus on 10 referrals. From those 10 referrals, I've sent them the skin analyzer. From the skin analyzer, I invite them to a party. Maybe it's a messenger party. Maybe it's a glow facial party. Maybe whatever it is that you already do. From the party, they're going to fall in love with skincare. From the skincare, they're going to become customers or consultants. And then if they're not becoming a consultant, they're going to give us 10 more names. And the ripple continues. It's a one ask that creates a waterfall of momentum. But here is where it gets exciting. What if you did that one ask 10 times? So I'm going to do the math for you. You don't have to do the math yourself. But I was thinking, okay, initially just doing that once. But I thought, well, it's kind of not the point of doing it once. It's the one thing. So it's the one thing that we do 10 times. How about 10 referrals 10 times? So here's a little math for you. 10 people for 10 referrals, that's 100. Let's say that 60% respond. So 60 women respond. Let's say of those 60 women, though, only half of them actually do it. That would be 30 doing the skin analyzer. Let's say of the 30, 60% come to the messenger party or on whatever kind of party, Facebook party, whatever you do. That'd be 18. Of the 18, let's say half of them, well, let's say 2/3 of them ordered. Okay. So that would be 12 women ordering. That would be anywhere between $900, $1,200. So we're looking at $500, $600 profit. First of all, that's not bad. That is not bad. Now, there's also going to be team building. So from the 12 customers that you have, you're going to, of course, ask them about the opportunity. Maybe 3 of them are interested, 1 or 2 of them join. So from one cycle, we now have 1 or 2 new team members, 12 new customers, referrals from the new customers, more parties, more faces, more sales. What if you did it 10 times? That would be approximately 120 new customers. Can you even imagine? 10 to 20 new team members. Can you even imagine? $9,000 to $12,000 in sales, which we're now looking at $5,000, $6,000 in your pocket. If you're starting at square one, you're now a red jacket or maybe even in DIQ, you've built a solid customer base, all from one decision you made. One thing, repeated 10 times. You know, I have said this so many times, and I'm sure you've probably heard it, and you're like, yeah. I tell people, don't start strong, start small. I mean, Zechariah 4:10 says, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices in the work, to see the work begin. So don't underestimate the ripple. It's not about just changing your month. You're changing your year. It's not about hustling harder. It's about focusing smarter. Now, Kali, does it have to be 10 new leads? No, it can be whatever you want. But I want you to project it out. You can use ChatGPT for that too. If I did the thing and then I did it 10 times, what would that look like? What result would I get? How simple would that make my daily activity? How simple? All I'm doing today is asking 10 people for 10 leads. Or if that's too much, I'm asking one person for 10. Tomorrow I'm going to ask another person for 10. The next day I'm going to ask, maybe it takes me 10 days. That's fine. It takes me 10 days. No worries. What am I going to do with those leads? I do need to know that. But I just want to give you the power of the simplicity. All right, friends. So do the one thing today and watch how the one thing leads to everything. Okay? You've got this. I'm cheering for you. Let's finish strong. Have a great day.